For over 25 years, I've worked with cats and the people who love them, and there's one pattern that never ever changes. People come to me convinced their cat is being naughty, moody, or even spiteful because of behaviors they see every single day. They talk about the purring at strange times, the fluffy belly that turns into a claw trap, the sudden love bites, the intense staring, the hiding, the scratching, and of course, peeing outside the litter box. To them, it all feels so random, so personal. But from a behaviorist point of view, it's not random at all. In fact, your cat has been doing these things for years because it's their clearest way to communicate, and most owners have been misreading the message. Today, you're finally going to understand what your cat has really been trying to tell you all this time. Let's start with the biggest myth of them all. Purring means happy. If that were true, I wouldn't see so many terrified cats purring on vet tables. Now, cats absolutely purr when they're relaxed and content. But here's the thing, they also purr when they're anxious, hurting, or trying to self-soothe. Both clinical and behavioral sources have noted cats purring during pain, fear, and recovery, not just during cuddles on the couch. So if your cat is purring while hiding under the bed, hunched in a corner, or refusing to eat, that's not a sign that everything's fine. That's more likely your cat saying, "I'm struggling and this is how I cope." For years, you've probably heard happy when your cat was desperately trying to ask you to look closer at their body language. Now let's talk about the infamous belly trap. Your cat rolls over, exposes that gloriously fluffy stomach, and looks impossibly cute. You assume it's an open invitation, you go in for a tummy rub, and bam, you get slapped with claws or a sharp nip. It feels like a total betrayal, right? Well, in feline language, exposing the belly is one of the highest trust moves a cat can make. Their belly is where all their vital organs are. When a cat shows you that area, they're usually saying, "I feel safe enough around you to be this vulnerable," not necessarily, "Please rub here." Behavior guides are pretty blunt about this. A belly show is typically a trust signal, not a guarantee you can touch it. If the rest of their body is loose and floppy, some cats might enjoy some gentle contact. But if their paws are slightly coiled or their tail starts to twitch, that's a clear look, but don't touch. For years, your cat may have been saying, "I trust you," while your hands were crossing a boundary they never actually invited you to cross. Next up, those so-called love bites. You're petting your cat, they're purring, everything seems perfect, and then out of nowhere they nip you and bolt. Most people tell me she just attacks for no reason. But behavior research and clinical experience tell a very different story. This is usually a classic case of overstimulation, or sometimes pain in a particular area. Cats feel repeated strokes very, very intensely. As your hand goes over the same spot again and again, their nervous system can go from "this feels good" to "that's too much, stop now," and before they bite, they almost always warn you. Their tail starts to flick, the skin on their back ripples, their ears shift, their head turns. When all those subtle signals fail, the bite is their last resort to end the interaction. It isn't random. It's the one thing that humans reliably listen to. Your cat has probably spent years politely asking you to stop, then finally biting when politeness just didn't work. And what about the staring? People always joke that their cat just sits across the room and judges them. In reality, cats use their eyes to monitor their environment and to read you. A soft, slow blink is often a sign of trust and calm. It's like a feline "I feel safe with you" a study. Relaxed gaze with loose body language is just them keeping tabs on you as a familiar, important part of their territory. Now, intense staring with huge, dilated pupils and a stiff body? That's about arousal. It could be fear, excitement, or hunting focus, but it's definitely not moral judgment. They aren't evaluating your life choices. They're just trying to figure out what's happening next and whether they need to react. For years, your cat's eyes may have been saying you matter. So I watch you. While you interpreted it as them being judgy. Hiding is another behavior that gets cats some really unfair labels. Owners often tell me, "He's just antisocial," or "She's so dramatic. She runs under the bed for nothing." From a cat's perspective, hiding is a very healthy and normal coping strategy. When a situation feels overwhelming, new people in the house, loud kids, construction noise, even a subtle argument between family members, they retreat to a place where they feel in control. That could be under the bed, in a closet, behind the couch, or up on a high shelf. That isn't rudeness. It's pure self-preservation. A sudden increase in hiding can also be a major medical red flag. When you drag them out or try to force them to be social, The only thing they learn is that you don't respect it when they say, "I'm not okay right now." For years, your cat may have been screaming, "I need to feel safe," and you've been treating it like a personality flaw. Now let us tackle scratching and peeing outside the box, two behaviors that cause the most conflict and are probably the most misunderstood. Scratching is not an act of vandalism. It's a biological need. It lets cats stretch their bodies, shed their old claw sheaths, and mark their territory with both visual marks and scent from glands in their paws. If your cat keeps choosing your couch or that doorframe, they're simply picking surfaces and locations that make sense to them, sturdy, central, and satisfying. If the only scratcher you've offered them is a short, wobbly one tucked away in a corner, of course they're going to ignore it. In their mind, they've been explaining, "I need a good, stable place to scratch right here." And you've been hearing, "I'm out to ruin your furniture," and urinating outside the litter box is almost never revenge. In fact, it's one of the biggest red flags a cat can give you. Medical issues like urinary tract infections or painful crystals, anxiety, aversion to the litter box itself, and territorial stress are all well-documented causes. A covered box that traps odors, a noisy location, scented litter that offends their sensitive nose, not having enough boxes, or conflict with another cat can all push a cat to avoid the box or mark territory elsewhere. When you punish them for it, they only learn that you are a source of danger when they're already feeling vulnerable. What they have actually been saying this whole time is, "Something is wrong with my bathroom," or "Something is wrong with my body." Then there are the gifts, the toys, socks, or even pray that they leave where you're sure to find them. Most people react with annoyance or, let's be honest, disgust. But in feline social behavior, bringing prey or other objects can be about sharing and teaching. Mother cats bring prey to their kittens. Bonded cats will sometimes share their favorite items. When your cat drops a toy mouse on your bed or a real mouse by the door, they are including you in that primal instinct. It's not, "I want to horrify you." It's much closer to, "You're part of my social group, so I bring this important thing to you." For years, you may have been stepping over what is, in their language, a profound sign of inclusion and family. So here's your mid-video check-in. How many of these behaviors have you been reading as attitude or spite? The purring, the belly shows, the bites, the staring, the hiding, the scratching, the peeing, the presence? How many of these were really just messages about trust, fear, stress, pain, or social bonding? The biggest transformation I see in my clients is when they stop thinking, "Why is my cat doing this asterisk to asterisk me?" And they start asking, "What is my cat trying to tell asterisk me asterisk through this?" The behavior doesn't suddenly vanish, but now you actually know how to respond in a way that makes sense to the cat. So what should you do starting today? First, never judge a single signal by itself. Always look at the full picture: body posture, eyes, tail, and the context of the situation. Second, give your cat better options. This means providing tall, stable scratching posts right where they already like to scratch. It means having multiple, clean, quiet litter boxes with unscented litter. It means giving them safe hideouts that they're allowed to use without being disturbed. And it means daily interactive play to help them bleed off stress and that natural hunting energy. Each of these things tells your cat, "I hear what you've been asking for." Finally, the next time your cat does something that frustrates you, just pause. Assume it's communication, not defiance. Ask yourself, if my cat is trying to tell me they're stressed, in pain, overstimulated, or even just feeling safe, would this behavior make sense? And most of the time, you'll find that it absolutely will. Your cat is not a tiny, furry human with bad manners. They are a cat, behaving in a way that is perfectly logical for a cat. If this helped you see your own cat a little differently, don't let that aha moment disappear. Watch them today with fresh eyes and see how many of their mystery behaviors suddenly make perfect sense. If you had even one moment where you thought, "Wow, I've been getting that wrong for years," please tap the like button so more cat parents can find this information. Subscribe for more behavior, breakdowns from someone who's been decoding cat language for decades, and comment with the one thing your cat does that you've always struggled to understand, because that problem might just be the clearest message your cat has ever sent you. Thanks for watching.